Welcome back to another big update on my LEGO City project. The next building on the schedule is a massive skyscraper, fully designed as office space. It's not just filled with computer desks and meeting rooms, but it also features a spectacular rooftop swimming pool. You don't want to miss this, so let's dive right in. The shape of the building has a cutout section in the middle of the structure, which gives the design a unique look. This time, I decided to fully furnish the entire building with a detailed interior, surrounded by exterior walls made completely out of glass. That way, you can really see inside and watch the whole thing come to life. I think I ended up using over 500 of those glass panels in this building, but once you see the final result, it was totally worth it. As you can see, there's an elevator running through the center of the tower, reaching all the floors so everything is easily accessible. On the ground floor, I added a reception desk in the lobby, where office workers can check in and visitors can ask questions. From there, employees can take the elevator up to their respective companies. To finish off the lobby, I included planters and a few tables where guests can either wait or get some work done on their laptops. Now that the first floor is finished, it's time to keep building up the glass exterior walls. By placing the same dark gray bricks in between the glass panels, I wanted to create the illusion that each section looks like 2 floors from a distance, even though it's actually just one. As every LEGO builder knows, furnishing every single floor takes a huge amount of work, and when you're building a city with lots of tall skyscrapers, it's often just not realistic. That's why I built each floor as a modular section that can easily be stacked on top of one another. To make this possible, I topped off each floor with dark gray tiles. These need to match the floor color so that the height lines up perfectly with the dark gray bricks placed between the glass walls. The result is a clean and modern look, just like real skyscrapers. Each floor is built with 2 layers of plates, which makes the structure sturdy and ensures everything connects seamlessly. On top of that, I kept repeating the process with glass panels and dark gray bricks, finishing each level again with tiles. In total, I made 8 of these floors, so you can imagine how much work that was and how many pieces it required. And remember, we haven't even started decorating the inside yet. Finishing the entire interior is both expensive and time-consuming, but in my opinion, it's absolutely worth it, because my goal is to make this build as realistic as possible. To gather all the parts I needed, I went back to my local LEGO store and filled up 5 huge boxes, mostly with dark gray plates, glass panels, and an insane amount of 1x1 transparent tiles. Those will be used to finish the floors, and they're going to create a spectacular effect. As you can see, I always stack my bricks as tightly as possible when filling a box. That way, I can fit way more pieces inside and save up to 40% compared to just throwing them in loosely. And as you can see, this method gave me an incredible amount of new bricks to work with for finishing the skyscraper. In total, there are over 20,000 transparent tiles here, all of which we're going to need. I also decided to take down one of my older skyscrapers. It was honestly tough to do, because it was one of the very first towers I ever built. But now that I've gained more experience, I want to push myself to create even better designs. That old building was fully furnished with desks and LEGO minifigures, which I can now reuse for this new project. So far, I've only demolished half of it, and it has already given me a massive amount of bricks that I can recycle into the new skyscraper. That's really the only fun part about tearing down a build you've spent so much time and energy on. Luckily, seeing all those minifigures makes it more than worth it. Since I'll need to furnish 8 full floors, I decided to build as much of the interior in bulk as possible. That way, I don't have to come up with a brand new design for each floor over and over again, and it speeds up the entire building process tremendously. The interior is filled with computer desks, each set up with 4 workstations complete with monitors and keyboards. On top of that, I built plenty of couches and added lots of greenery to bring the space to life. I'm also creating a meeting room with a large table and a big screen where results can be displayed. Now it's time to divide the floors into different sections that form separate offices, just like you'd see in real office buildings. Some floors will have open workspaces, while others will be split up into multiple rooms. Of course, every space has proper doors, to make it as realistic as possible. Next, we can start placing the first desks in their spots, surrounded by office chairs. Personally, I really enjoy adding lots of small details, like keyboards. I ordered a whole bunch of them. That's because I'm planning to build at least 5 more skyscrapers, and I'm sure some of those will be office towers as well. To build the interior, I first need to remove the walls, but luckily, as you can see, they're super easy to reattach. The first private office space is furnished with a desk and a couch where guests can sit down to have a conversation with a high-ranking employee in their own office. And just like in real office buildings, every floor has its own reception desk right in front of the elevator, so visitors can ask questions when they arrive at the company. Now that the rooms are furnished, it's time to lay down the first floor. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm covering every floor of the skyscraper with transparent tiles, and for that, I needed around 20,000 pieces. Luckily, they were available on the pick-a-brick wall at the Lego store, so I was able to get them at a good price. This is actually the first time I've ever finished floors this way, so I'm really curious to see how it turns out. In real life, you sometimes see floors designed with glass or transparent tiles, and it gives the building a very modern and spectacular look. That's exactly what I'm hoping to achieve here. Of course, placing all of these tiny tiles was a massive task, and I honestly wasn't looking forward to doing it again for all the other floors that still needed them. Building with Lego on this scale isn't always fun, but the end result definitely makes it all worth it. The first floor is now fully furnished, and it really feels like a modern company where employees can calmly go about their daily tasks. It's always fun to think about what you'd find in a real office building and then recreate that in Lego. That's when I realized the skyscraper also needed restrooms, so I started designing them for the next floor. The restroom area is surrounded by white walls, and I even bought a fun little water tap piece that works perfectly for this setup. The space is divided into 3 separate rooms, 2 toilet stalls with classic white doors, and a small middle section. Of course, the 2 stalls need to be divided, so I used a neat building technique to place a wall right in the center. Finally, I topped off the restroom area with a roof, and with that done, we can continue furnishing the rest of the company that's located on this floor. To add some variety, I designed different desk layouts, which creates a nice effect across the different rooms. In this space, I'm building the meeting room, where I placed a large table and designed a screen so everyone can review the important topics the company is working on. The table has room for 7 people, and at the back of the room, I added a notice board where brainstorming ideas can be written down and shared visually with the rest of the team. To brighten things up a bit, I also included a large plant, which adds some much needed atmosphere to what are often pretty dull looking office buildings. Finally, I placed the minifigures around the room, which really brings the whole space to life. On each floor, I've added about 10 minifigures, which quickly adds up to around $200 in cost. Altogether, this skyscraper is already close to $1,000. If you're enjoying this project and want to support me, consider becoming a channel member for just $1 a month. That way, I can keep creating bigger and better builds. But don't go anywhere, we still have lots of exciting things coming up, including a spectacular rooftop swimming pool. The next floor features a large couch with a table where employees can sit down to discuss things in peace, or simply relax, read the newspaper, and enjoy a drink. Just like in real life, more and more companies are choosing to create relaxed workplaces where employees feel at home and actually want to be. I really wanted to bring that same idea into this design. Personally, I'm a huge fan of working in that kind of environment myself, so it was a lot of fun to recreate it with Lego. Now that this floor is finished, it's time to put the glass walls back in place and move onto the rooftop, where a huge swimming pool is waiting. Maybe I went a little over the top with creating a fun workplace, but honestly, why shouldn't you be able to take a quick swim during the day? Personally, I think it would be amazing, and I'm sure it would make me even more productive at work. To create the pool, I used light blue plates for the base and topped them with green, transparent tiles, which gives a water effect that comes really close to the real thing. Of course, a swimming pool wouldn't be complete without some lounge chairs, so employees can relax with a book or even take a quick nap in peace. I built these lounge sets using light brown bricks and finished them with white tiles to represent towels. Right now, 3 people are enjoying the rooftop pool. They've all taken off their work clothes to soak up a beautiful tan. And believe me, at this height, it doesn't take long to catch some sun. While 2 employees are relaxing and enjoying the sunshine, the third one is swimming laps in the pool, using his well-deserved break as a chance to get some exercise. And of course, that's important too. What kind of boss wouldn't want their employees to stay healthy? Do you also think employers should do more to create fun and inspiring workplaces? Or are you perfectly happy with your current work environment? Let me know in the comments, but not before we check out the final result. In total, this skyscraper is made up of 8 separate floors, all built as individual modules. It's really fun to stack them one by one and watch the tower rise higher and higher. I purposely chose not to make this building as tall as the black skyscraper behind it, because otherwise it would disappear from view when looking at the city from the right-hand side. My goal is to first showcase the old historic buildings in the front, with the modern skyscrapers towering above them in the background. Now that all 8 floors are in place, we can finally add the rooftop swimming pool and take a look at the spectacular final result. Personally, I think it's amazing that you can see what's happening on every single floor. Each one tells its own story. That's exactly what I wanted to achieve with this design, to bring the entire building to life. The glass walls give it that modern, sleek look you so often see in real-world business districts. This part of my city is really starting to take shape, and I can't wait until the entire area is filled with more of these towering skyscrapers. So make sure to keep watching, because I'll soon be revealing my plans for the rest of this area, and I'll really need your ideas. My vision is to create a full business district packed with towering skyscrapers, including both office buildings and residential apartments. I'm really curious what you'd like to see here. Do you think I should fully furnish every single floor? Or do you prefer solid buildings like the big black tower where you can't see inside? Personally, I'm leaning toward a mix of both, but if you think differently, let me know in the comments. And of course, there are plenty of other things I could add to this district, like a police station, restaurants, or supermarkets. Which one do you think absolutely has to be included? Share your ideas, and who knows, it might become my next project. If you'd like to help me keep expanding this LEGO city, consider becoming a channel member for just $1 a month. You'll get access to exclusive videos where I show how I design my builds, and how I buy LEGO as affordably as possible, so you can start creating your very own LEGO Dream City too. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next update.